Mark, thank you for being her pastor for the last few decades that she was there. And we appreciate that. I'm one of Nora's grandsons, and I'm going to read a little bit about her life and her history there that probably a lot of you don't know. Some things I read were even new to me. Nora Ellen Matlock was born December 8th, 1920, to Robert and Orda Mae Dugan in Youngstown, Ohio. Her first 10 years were the roaring 20s. She had 4 older siblings, 2 brothers, Ken and Jared, and 2 sisters, Ede and Mid. She came to faith in Jesus Christ in her teen years, and that faith began to grow. She married George Matlock on January 23rd, 1942. Her young life and early marriage were influenced by the Great Depression and World War II. During the war, she worked in a factory making fighter planes. In 1944, her only child, Tommy, my dad, was born. In 1947, her doctor recommended moving to a drier climate and suggested Arizona. But upon arriving there in the summer, they continued on to California. Wise choice. They set up residence in Pomona on Town Avenue and started attending Pomona First Baptist Church. In 1953, they bought some land in Chino and started to build. They lived on the land in a tiny teardrop trailer. George built a very nice outhouse that her niece Susan just loved. George rigged a 50-gallon drum for water and a walnut tree, and thus they had a shower too. All the niceties of pioneer living. Friends and family came often to help build the home. There was also a cabinet shop. Tommy's job was to pull used nails and straighten them to be used again. That's what you did those days. Nora and George also moved their membership to a sister church at Chino First Baptist, where they were church leaders there. George directed the choir and Nora sang in the choir. She taught Sunday school as well. In 1957, they joined a band of church planners from Pomona First Baptist and started this church, Bethany Baptist Church, in an orange grove called Montclair. She was a charter member there until her passing. She was unable to celebrate Bethany's 50th anniversary this year because of her prolonged hospital stay, but she delighted in hearing of the service and all the old-timers that were there or came back. She was a loving wife and mother, but slowly was drawn into working in the cabinet shop with George. Later, after she retired, so to speak, and when her beloved husband died in 1986, 21 years ago, almost to the hour, 21 years ago, she accepted a position as receptionist with the startup firm of Matlock Associates, architects. At age 80, she said that she was going to have to retire for good. Her life was characterized by a growing love for Jesus. She didn't amass any wealth or great possessions, but she did amass a wealth of friends. And she leaves a legacy of a son and daughter-in-law, Tom and Judy, 4 grandsons, Mark, Josh, Jeremy, and Jonathan, 3 granddaughters-in-law, Jade, Christy, and Kelly, and 4 great-grandchildren, Dax, Sky, Luke, and Tad, and many, many spiritual children that she led to faith in Jesus. She longed to be with Jesus and for a reunion with those she loved who have gone before. She'd rather have Jesus than anything. I remember a few months ago going to the hospital there in San Antonio and praying with my grandma. And they brought back memories of when I was on the couch in my parents' living room, and I remember vividly her saying this, and she would say it often, that she was going to be alive until Christ returned. Well, that didn't happen. But when I was there on her deathbed, or a few months ago in San Antonio, she said, "Grandma, how can I pray for you?" And she said, I want to go home. She says, I want to go see the Lord. So we prayed for her there. And but that was the faith that I saw for my whole life, was that she wanted more than anything to be with the Lord. And she had faith that she would be with the Lord. And the verse in the Bible where Paul says, to live is Christ and to die is gain. And that was her life. And she always believed, I want to be with the Lord, I want to be with the Lord. And she lived